Hey there everybody, just getting stuck into these runners for doors. First thing I realised at this point, which is a bit late in the day, is really should have fitted these onto the panels before assembling the building. Bit of dumbassery on my part there. But either way, I've got my runners made up, so they're gonna just get placed in. Then I'm going to spot them in place. I'm all doing this just by eye because it doesn't have to be perfect. Keep on saying this a lot lately. I think I would like it to be perfect, but I don't have the luxury. So these ones I'm just running in, and if you've done this error, I'm just spotting in underneath one corner, and this is literally just to fix it in place. Sorry, you can't see very clearly, but I'm just fixing that in place. That frees me up to be able to. The other thing is I've got the building knocked onto its back, so I'm just using gravity to hold everything in place. Which means I can just rest it in place. Like so. And I'm just reaching through, holding it in place by just keeping a bit of pressure up, so it's held down. These are 4mm off the wall, leaving enough space for using this light for the door. The other thing is to note that I'm only going to put when I fit the doors in at the end, this will be like the last part of the door I can do pre-painting. Because otherwise you just won't be able to get in and paint all the bits and pieces you need to paint. So the other thing is I have teeny weeny little blocks cut out. So if I just flip it up this way, just put a bit of glue in the middle, and again I'm just judging this by eye. And I have these teeny blocks cut out, and I'm just throwing it in there because it's a bit small. Move around, and I'm just getting a allspike or your craft knife, whatever is to hand really, and just pushing that in. So that's like my doorstop divider. And that'll be between each of these double sets of doors, so that when you slide the door across, it'll stop at that point. Thought about putting a divide down the middle, but actually I quite like the look of it like that in some respects, and you can run into other issues with material depth and proper coverage. And at some point I think I will build sort of space station, and when I'm building space station I'll probably be doing cleverer doors, and I'll use sort of double skin. There's a brief overview of sliding doors, but I'll start doing some proper videos just about making doors and making panels for doors and sort of utilising etching and such for. Having let the spot glue dry, it's basically fixed. So then you can just reach in, lift it forward a bit and get glue right in underneath. I'm trying to work on the inside because in theory it will be less visible, and just run it underneath, hence the long squiggly nozzle things are actually really useful if you can find glue with them. Then that will just use this flex to get it to move and stick into the glue and let it go and reset back. If necessary, just tilt it up and work around. Sorry if that's gone a little bit out of focus now. And just check everything's. And I'm just going to put a little bit on the foot on this side where it meets the floor, which you probably can't see, but that's what I'm doing. And that just makes that all secure. And then there is the final runner to put in this build, which is this runner down here for the front door. Again, I've got this pre-cut. This is 60mm. Again, make sure you don't do this. First one I did this way around, which is 3mm depth, and that's going to be a nuisance later. Stupid me. And it means that the 4mm means the door has to be slightly smaller and blah, which is a pain in the ass. But that's on me. Done it to myself, my friends. So my glue's running a bit low, so it's bubbling and being a nuisance. So then just carefully get it in. Use your finger to align. And I want this alignment at this end to be flush. Because the other thing I'm just going to do with this is just dry a bit. I'll just get a bit of sandpaper and I'll just take these, give them a bit of sand, and it just brings them flush. I mean, I don't mind the line on the top like that. So, as you can see here, I haven't marked on the line here for where I want the runner to go. So what I'm doing is this is all very ad hoc. Again, all of this should have been marked up. I should have attached the runners before doing anything else. So I'm just dropping in a ruler, putting in a mark, dropping in a ruler. I'm doing these so the top edge is 50mm. Ruler's too big, so I'm just using an offcut as a straight edge for marking in this line. That's my line marked. I've got my pre-cut runner, which in this case I believe is 65mm, and I am just gonna, these are all pre-sanded. I've tried to sand them as square as possible so that when I put, I'm going to use plastic card for the fronting, and it'll be slightly oversized and it'll get glued on last of all. So I'll probably paint that prior to sticking it into place. But these just need and then the plastic card bit. I've got a mock door here. So if the door's roughly this kind of size, and the doors will have to be measured for each one, but that's about the size that the ones further down will be. Then the bit of plastic card will sort of come down like this. It'll cover down to the top of the door line, and then that'll be a slider. So just so you can see how it fits. In the case of this, don't need any end because the balcony will act as the sort of wall on the balcony here will act as the butt end. Again, I forgot to mark up these, so if you ever end up in this situation, I've just taken another offcut, and that goes, I've marked my 50mm elevation on it. I'm just taking a mark here. Then I'm just holding my ruler on my straight edge so the back edge is square. Again, this would be easier to do if you have like a T-square. Just something which is easier to flush. And I'm just running that line. I've already marked up the other ones. Again, I've got my pre-cut pieces here. These runners, I want to run the full width of the door. Also, if you are cutting like this, is 3mm depth material, and I've cut a 4mm piece in terms of the width of the piece. If you are doing this, you want to just, well, ideally do it beforehand. You want the full width, because again, once I've put in the wall slash balcony that goes out onto the exterior area, that'll act as the buffer so that the sliding door will hit that, and that'll stop it from going any further. And yeah, okay, you're going to have a bit of funny stuff, but I'm finding these mechanisms actually quite, they make everything look a bit more finished, it gives you those sort of frameworks, and then once the door's actually in place, it'll mean that you can see exactly how it all operates. So I'm just going to get all this done, and you can see basically how it gets done from that. And yeah, I hope it's been of some use to you. Have a good one, take care, enjoy your modelling, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.